Hi guys, I hope you're all having an awesome day today. Welcome to my channel. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Nori, and today I'm going to be trying out a brand new collection by the brand Profusion Cosmetics. Now, Profusion is a super affordable drugstore brand that I've always been intrigued by, but I've never tried before. So I did purchase a few palettes from their new I Love You to the Moon and Back collection, just because they're so affordable that I thought I needed to try them out because I love makeup, and my favorite kind of makeup is affordable makeup. So in today's video, I'm going to swatch this palette for you. I'm going to show you these, but today it's going to be mostly about this one right here, but I will be having a video for all the ones that I purchased. But today we're going to go and get started with this palette. So if you want to see any of that, then just keep on watching. Okay guys, so these palettes are from the I Love You to the Moon and Back collection that just launched. I actually don't know much about Profusion Cosmetics, but every time I saw an ad for them, it intrigued me just because of how affordable they are. But I'm going to show you the palettes that I got. The palette that I got here first is the To the Moon 32 shade eyeshadow palette. So in this palette you get 32 total eyeshadows, which I think is a lot. It's a pretty big palette, and this one retails for $13. Now I'm going to give you my thoughts about everything. The packaging honestly is very plasticky, like very cheap, to be 100% honest. It's very cheap plastic packaging, but I also am testing the formula. I love packaging, but if I can find an affordable formula, that's my favorite kind of thing. But I'm going to show you, that's the top is like that, it's plastic, and you do not get a mirror in this palette. And here you have this little plastic film over the shadows with the shade names. The shade names are not like on the pan, so I'm going to take off this film. I'm going to make sure to keep this handy because I need that for the part of the tutorial when I tell you what shades I use. But this is what the actual palette looks like inside. It's a very colorful palette, and that's why it intrigued me, because I love colors. And now the pan sizes are like they're triangle shaped, which I don't know if I mind. I don't really care, like I'm not bothered. I know some people don't like unusual pan sizes, but this one for some reason doesn't bother me. Maybe because everything is triangles, it doesn't bother me at all. But in here you get some pink and blue and green and purple and just different shades of the rainbow. You got some shimmers and some mattes as well. And this is the one that I used today to create this eyeshadow look, which I will have a tutorial for like in this video. But I think I'm going to swatch it for you guys and show you how it swatches. And I did mention this cost $13 for 32 total eyeshadows, which I think is a really good price for 32 shadows. And you have a nice variety in here, which I think is super cool. So before I swatch it, I'm going to show you the other two palettes. I'm going to create separate videos for them. I might do for each one. I don't know if I'll do it for this very small one, but I did still want to show you in case you guys are interested in this brand and you just want to have an idea of how it looks. So the next palette that I got is the Ultraviolet palette right here. Let me get it out of the packaging. I do like the actual packaging that it comes in. Like, it's cute. It's kind of holographic, really pretty, and I like the whole space theme. Okay, now here is the Ultraviolet palette, and this palette retails for $10, and in here you get a total of 10 eyeshadows. So I guess it's $1 a shade. I did not even notice that. So in my opinion, that's a little bit not as affordable as I thought it would be, because you can find some very affordable palettes with more shadows for cheaper. But again, this does cost $10, and you get 10 total eyeshadows. And the name of this one again is Ultraviolet, so it's like a purple theme. So you got some really pretty neutrals, some purples, and then matte black right here. And I do like the size. It's not too big. It's really nice and travel friendly, but there is no mirror again. But that's what this one looks like. And the last palette that I got, I think it's a glitter little palette. It's a 5-shade glitter palette. This is the Glitter Rock palette that costs $7, and you get a total of 5 glitters in here. So I don't know, it was really pretty and glittery, and it caught my attention, so that's why I wanted to try it out. Okay, so here's the glitter palette. You have kind of the same packaging as the others, just a different shape. You get a total of 5 glitter shadows in here, and these actually look super like bright. Like, I don't know if these will work. I'm excited to try them out just to test and see if it'll work, because it kind of looks like play makeup to me. Online it was just so bright that I really wanted to try it out. But I also just realized the big palette that I got, the To the Moon palette, has some glitters in it. Like some, I have a green and a blue, which I think are the same. You know, you got this like royal blue in this one. I see it down here too. So now I don't know if I needed this little glitter palette. I just thought it was interesting, but I wanted to show you guys side by side in case you were wondering if you needed the small one. You do get some glitters in this big one, but I did just wanted to try out their formula because I love trying out new formulas. Okay, so here's about half of the shadows swatch. I'm gonna have a side by side, but this is half of it. I'm trying to keep it organized. Let me turn my hand maybe. Everything is swatching very nicely, except I have like a pressed glitter here that is just not even worth swatching, because with that you will need like a glitter primer. But okay, let me turn. Look how pretty. I think it just looks really pretty. Every shadow that I tried so far is very pigmented and really nice, and not like super powdery like some super cheap formulas tend to be. But this formula does not feel cheap so far at all. But that's half of the palette, and I'm gonna swatch the other half. Okay guys, here's the other side. Very, very colorful. These colors do not play around. I thought they might not be as colorful as they look in the pan, but they definitely are. These shadows are very colorful. And sorry for the messy swatching. I was just trying to fit everything in. And again, the pressed glitters do not show up with like as pigment because you need a primer for them. But that is the other side of the palette. I'm actually very impressed with how everything's swatched, and I think you do get a very nice variety of like rainbow colors in this palette. So if that's your kind of color story, this palette might be the palette for you. But when it comes to formula, we're gonna go ahead and get into this eyeshadow tutorial here, and through the tutorial I'll tell you how I feel about each shadow that I'm using. Then at the end I'll give you my final thoughts about this palette. Okay guys, so the first thing that I'm going to do is prime my eyelids using the NYX eyeshadow base in the shade White. And I'm just going to use my finger to apply this all over my eyelids, getting near the brow bone. Now I'm dipping into that shade Sour, and this is a really pretty lime green color. And I'm using sort of a medium shaped blending brush from Morphe. There's no number on this brush, it's just a regular blending brush, and I'm going to use this shadow as my transitional shade. So I'm placing it on my crease, and I'm first trying to build up the pigment. It is a little light, but what I'm doing is now just kind of patting it on to attempt to build some pigment, and then slowly dragging it higher on my lid right above my crease, just to get a little bit more dimension, because we are going to deepen our crease soon. But I really enjoy this shadow as a transitional shade for a green shadow look. And then I'm going to take this crease brush from Morphe, and this is a Morphe M321, and I dipped into that beautiful olive green shadow Escape, and it's such a pretty color. I love olive tones, and I'm going to place it directly onto my crease, right on top of that lime color, and this is just really going to give us some nice contrast in the look. So I'm just going back and forth with my brush, trying to create a shape, and then I'm slowly going to build up the pigment using patting motions. And this is just really a pretty shade, and I don't know, I just really love how these two work together, and I'm not having any issues with these shadows at all. They applied a little light at first, but they do build up, which I actually kind of prefer a shadow that's not extremely dark. It's nice to have something that you can build up. So far I like it. So I do have some areas, as you can see, that the shadow is not as intense. So what I do is I go in with my brush and just pat some more shadow on that area so that it doesn't like disappear. And I'm also extending the shadow outward just to create sort of an outer V shape. And then I'm going to use this flat lid brush from the brand Shayna B Miami, and I'm dipping into that beautiful shimmer Phantom. And I'm going to apply this all over my crease. I thought this would be the perfect shimmer for today, and it was just calling my name ever since I saw this palette. So I'm using the tip of my brush to follow the natural curve of my eyelid to create sort of a cut crease effect. And then I'm slowly building up the pigment and just adding more shimmer to the rest of my lid. It is a really pretty shimmer, and it did build up, but at first I was having it wasn't as super like buttery soft, but it does build up. So just take your time applying some more and, you know, patting it on, and eventually you'll get enough pigment. But I did really enjoy it. It's really pretty and just stands out. And I'm going to go in with the crease brush from earlier, and I'm going to dip into that emerald green color, Thoughtful. And I'm going to apply it to the outer corner of my eye, and then I'm going to blend it upwards and into my crease. At first I didn't get enough pigment, as you could tell there, so I went in and just pressed my brush a little bit harder, and I do like how it looks now. It's such a pretty color, and I love these kinds of tones, and I think it's a perfect shade just to add some contrast to like the lime and olive tones that I have going on so far. So I'm also like blending the shadow towards the center lid, just so that we have some nice dimension and we don't have like any harsh lines, and everything just looks nice and seamless. And I'm just blending that out so that I don't have any harsh lines, and I just think this is such a beautiful, beautiful shade. Now I just went back in and added just a tiny bit of that lime shimmer, just to make sure that it doesn't disappear. But now I'm going to go in with that same color again in the flat lid brush, and I'm going to apply it to underneath my lower lash line. So like the first half of that, it's just such a pretty shimmer. I wanted to recreate that in the bottom. And then I'm going to go in with the crease brush and dip into the emerald shade Thoughtful and apply it to the outer part of my lower lash line. And I'm also going to connect it to the top. And I think this just looks really pretty, and I like the contrast that I have going on. And I decided not to add any wing liner, but I did go in with black liner on my waterline just because I like that. And then I'm taking a very small brush and dipping into that beautiful white shimmer Believe. And I'm going to apply this to my inner corner and also underneath my brow bone. And I think that's it for makeup. I'm going to go ahead and finish off the rest of my makeup, and I'll be back to show you guys the final look and give you my final thoughts. Okay guys, so this is how the look turned out. What do you guys think? I think I went a little softer than I expected to go. I really wanted to use green because that's my favorite color at the moment, and I'm wearing green. I don't know, I just really wanted to try green out because I feel like green is really hard to get when it comes to pigment. And even shimmers like green shimmers are very hard in my opinion. I haven't found very exciting different kind of green shimmers in different palettes, so I wanted to try that out. And I also wanted to make a like cohesive look because I'm making more videos today, but I really wanted to do like a different look, and I might do that in the future. But let me give you guys a close-up. I really do like the way it turned out, and I expected to struggle more than I did. I don't really think I struggled. Some of the shadows you have to press on, which is normal. I found other formulas that are more expensive that you still have to do the same with. So this palette actually did perform nicely, and I'm looking in the mirror here. I think the look looks really nice and put together. I don't see any patchiness. The shimmer is really, like, I only used two shimmers actually. Shimmers were really pretty and pigmented and very soft, so I actually enjoy that as well. I decided to kind of let the eye shine, and I didn't do like any wing liner, I wanted that green to pop. And for lips, I went with like sort of a nude. I don't know why it's not looking as nude as I wanted it to look. I used the Beauty Vault lip liner in the shade Bow Babe, which is sort of like a terracotta color. I need to sharpen this. Sort of like a terracotta color right there. And then I went in with the House Laboratories lip gloss in the shade Chaser, this is sort of like a brown lip gloss, and it's really pigmented. So I just really thought that it would be pretty and kind of complementary to this green. I don't know how I feel about the lip in the eyeshadow combo, but the shadow look overall I'm very pleased with. And I do think this palette performed nicely. Again, my final thoughts: for $13 you get a total of 32 shadows in here, which I think is awesome. That's a lot of shadows for $13. I do like the formula, I like the colors. The packaging is not my favorite. Now, you don't need packaging. Packaging is not necessary, but I do enjoy really pretty packaging. But overall, like, the packaging feels cheap, but the formula is really nice, and I did enjoy it. And I do think I will create more looks with it and I'm happy with the formula. But that's gonna be the end of today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up for me. Don't forget to subscribe before you go and turn on the little notification bell so that you don't miss any of my future uploads, because I will be doing a tutorial and review of this little ultraviolet palette very soon, and I have a lot more videos coming up. So, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys. Mwah.